doing the Ginger's main dish around the world eating crop. And this time, you're going to see my pop up there. This time I'm going to do Iran, which is a bread. And it's going to be using a sports layout that uses a minimum of 3 circle elements. If you wanted to do this in entirely black and white, you could get an extra entry. I'm not going to be doing that today because I don't have a lot of black and white papers and embellishments. But just as a reminder, you could do for all black and white. The information to join this and to enter is going to be in the description below. But now let me show you what I'm going to be doing. I have, and as you remember, we've been talking about how I'm going to be using up as much as I can. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way here. Sorry about that. I have the pictures from when my daughter ran a marathon. So I have 4 pictures of her running the marathon and then her and her friend at the end of the marathon. And what I have is just a couple of pieces of this runner's high paper. And on the back of it, it has a start, 10K, all of those informations. Obviously, we're not using that. But then on the front, it has some really cute kind of pages or little cut apart. And I'm going to be using those. And then I found in my stash this film strip. No idea where I got it from, but I'm going to be using this, get these 4 pictures on the page in this film strip. I pulled out some titles. I pulled out some circles. You're seeing the circles. Follow my dreams one step at a time. I've got this. To me, those are all things that are kind of indicative of this, and it goes with this color palette. I also have some hearts, and I have random flair that I have pulled out. So we're going to be using some flair. I have this. I have all of these things. Now, what I wanted to find out, and I can't remember, is how long a marathon is. So I'm trying to figure out if that's anywhere on these pages. If not, I'm going to look it up so that I can make sure I put that on here. But I'm hoping it's these numbers. I have a feeling it's a 6, but I will figure that out. But that's what I'm going to do. So just like every other time, now I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to put you on fast forward, let you watch me put the page together, and then we'll come back at the end and talk about the layout. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in just a second. So I'll cut apart the paper to create the mat. And I really like how this particular set of paper on the back had mat and a couple of cut aparts that would make titles. This is a great mini collection. And I think Photoplay is starting to do more of these like mini sports collections. Now, I really wanted to include both of those die cuts or cut aparts on it, and ended up it just wasn't going to work. Now, right there is where I noticed that there was a sticker that got on the picture, and when I pulled it up, it basically ripped my daughter's eye off of the photo. So I had to reprint, and what you're going to see is some of this is a lot of chunky or funky video editing because I took out all the parts where I was messing with my printer on the side, trying to get it to print the picture. So it was one of those days where nothing wanted to work with me. Anyway, so I did end up putting these photos in this kind of film strip. I love, love, love how this works. Now you can make your own film strip either with a Cricut or a Silhouette. There are also a ton of different dyes that different manufacturers sell that make a film strip. But at the end of the day, this is one of those things that ended up being super easy. The other thing you could do is if you were really careful, you could do it with a square punch, I guess. I also have this film strip from 49 Market that happened to be in just the right color of green. So I'm using that. And here's where I'm saying I just think I'm going to have to decide not to put that on there, which means I'm going to have to come up with a title. So I started looking through all of the words, and none of the title pieces that were there really worked. So you're going to see what I end up doing in a second. But basically, I take a bunch of the different words and I put it together to kind of have a title that's more of a set of sentiments and less of a title. So because I knew I was going to have to replace my photo, I did tack it on there, and then I very carefully glued everything around it so that nothing was actually glued to the photo. That's something you can do either if you want to do a base layout without a photo and add one in later. I've done that before at Croc. Or if, like me, you had this photo printed and it got ruined and you don't have a printer at home, but you print from Walgreens or Walmart or Snapfish or whatever it is, you could just tack the photo down, make sure nothing is actually glued to it, and then you can just replace it. You're going to watch at the end how I replaced my photo. And I think that's a really kind of a good thing to do. Here's more circles. I love that the challenge needed me to put circles, and I found these words in circles in my stash. I know I've had these in my stash for a long, long time, and I'm finally using them. What I am loving about all of these February challenges is that they are challenges that are kind of different, and they're not theme-based. They're more about things that have happened or circles or maps or whatever it has been, and it's allowing me to really use collections that or stash that I haven't used in a long time. This particular old Vicky Bouton collection, this one of a kind Smile Big, I know it's from probably 2 years ago, and I am using parts of it now on this particular layout. So there's me replacing the photo, and for some reason the photo I printed ended up being slightly smaller than the photo that was there. I don't know. I printed it from the same printer, but that's okay. So what I do here is add some different words. Instead of a full title, I'm just adding words around the photo. So I'm going to come back in just a second here and talk you through the layout live, but I hope you really enjoyed this. I am enjoying these so much, and I will see you back here in a couple of days with another entry into the Around the World Challenge. Thanks, everybody. And we had a little trouble with the photo. I had one of the hearts got on the photo and took her eye out, so ended up having to reprint. But other than that, I did focus and routine and awesome, did some words. I have lots of clusters of circles, and I really like how this turned out. Just 2 pieces of paper from the Marathon collection. That was it, and some things from my staff, and we made a great page. Hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, you can look in the description box to see how to join the Eat Around the World challenges, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.